You talk every day about how you want a better life. There's no more hiding it anymore. It's time to face the music. Because if you don't, stop right there. You need to start living. Regardless of where you are, regardless of what you're doing, regardless your state of mind, even if you feel like you're going insane. Because even when you're winning, you're not winning like you think you are. And when you're losing, when you feel like a failure, you're not really failing as bad as you think you are. You know where that quote comes from? I don't actually know his name, but to end it off, he says, "You're just a man. You're just a human being. That's all any of us are." You know, we watch movies, TV shows, and all these different things, and we look from an outside perspective. But when we actually face reality, when we come to terms with what is actually in front of us, we have no idea. I mean, we don't know why we're here. We don't know why the planet does what it does. We don't know why the universe is there. We don't know why good things happen to bad people or why bad things happen to good people. We don't know. No, maybe it's all just luck. Maybe it's all just coincidence. You know, I mean, 1 year you'll have to answer, oh, what year is it? 2071. That's gonna be weird, isn't it? It's coming. You know, maybe not for a while, but you'll blink your eyes a couple times and you'll be there. You know, because just the other day, I was at my own birthday party. But I was 10 years old, not 20. You know, I don't want to tell you what I thought as a kid, but you know, I had such an imagination. You know, I thought everything would be fine. You know, I always pictured myself like I pretended like I would call myself the unknown player. You know, it was like it was a superhero that had every power in the world or every power that was ever thought of, you know. Wow, I forgot about that. You know, I made a character that they had every power that anybody has ever thought of. So if anyone thinks of a new power, I automatically get that power if someone thinks of it. It was a weird character. It was just the unknown player, and just like I would travel galaxies and all this different stuff, you know, just imaginary stuff. You know, where did all that stuff go? You know, maybe I got responsibility, you know, maybe weirder things started to happen. You know, and then anxiety came, you know, my legs started to shake. And I started to think that things were wrong when they weren't, you know, because you suffer a lot more in your imagination than you do in actual reality. But this is it, everybody. That sign from the universe, that want. It's finally time for you to put all of your baggage behind you and in the back seat. You know, because all you have is right now. All you have is your life. You know, sometimes it feels like your life isn't yours. That's okay. You know, because when you've been holding your breath for so long, it's that very first breath, dude. You're alive. You're here. Your feet are on the ground. You know, there's been a lot of stories out there. Been a lot of things. There's been a lot of ways that people have felt. You know, but I'll tell you one thing. Ending it all. Giving up. Rotting in your bed. Not knowing if everything will be okay. It's time to finally put it all together and live. Because if you do not live your life, nobody is going to live it for you. Nobody is coming to save you from your predicament. Nobody is going to understand you. All of that is okay. You know, because even right now, you are going through thoughts that you can never even express to me. And even if I listened with my full heart, my full mind, I could possibly maybe grasp maybe a fraction of what you're trying to actually express to me. You know, humans search for purpose, when in reality, we create it. We create everything around us. You are simply the universe experiencing itself, wrapped in a nutshell. You are everything. Because once this ends, well, all of it ends around you. You know, not that it isn't still there, because it definitely is. You know, the sun doesn't need you in order to rise in the morning. But it's just weird that it will all be left behind. You know, because that's why I urge you, that's why I tell you to live your best life, to say what you want to say, do what you want to do, to chase that dream. You know, and you don't need motivation, you don't need discipline, you don't need to work every single day. Geez, you don't even need to wake up early in the morning. You just need to find what works for you and take it from there. That's all you've ever needed to do. You know, because just because it works for someone else does not mean it's going to work for you. Okay? Every single person on this earth is experiencing a different life right now. Everybody, me, you, that person in that blue car, this person in this car, the people inside of the place I'm going to go inside the gym. Everybody is living a different, unique life. Okay? And the advice that they spurred out, even me, is all from their own experience. Okay? Yes, some of it may stick, some of it may, reach, yes. But take it all with a grain of salt. You know, because at the end of the day, it only needs to matter to you. Okay, if you have a dream, if you have a goal, if you have a vision, okay, nobody is going to believe in your dream like you believe in your dream, because it is your dream. Now, let me ask you this question. Would you believe what you believe if you were the only person who believed it? You know, there's a reason why they tell you to love yourself, to put yourself first, to choose yourself. You know, maybe get out of your head. You know, maybe you're not stuck in life. Maybe you're simply stuck in your head. Call a friend. Message a friend. Hug a family member. Kiss somebody. Laugh with someone. Tell a joke. Be corny. Be cringe. Make a weird face. Express. Express while you still can. Because one day you won't be able to. You know, because I don't care how great you think you are. I don't care how much of a loser you think you are. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, the pawns, the kings, they all go back into the same box. Everybody is equal. We all bleed red. Everybody. So if there was ever a time for you to start living, it would be right now. Because if you don't, life, just like sand, will slip you by. Waste time, and time will waste you. No more procrastination. No more waiting for your life to happen, or waiting for the perfect moment. Because if you spend your entire life waiting for the right moment, you're going to find yourself waiting your entire life. Because you can't wait for everything around you to be perfect for you to start living your life. You need to start living it even when everything is shit. Even when it hurts to wake up in the morning. Even when you have no motivation. Even when you're drained. Even when the car shuts down and you need to push it. You need to get out and you need to push it. Because everything is temporary. Including the way you feel. Your happiness is a trap. It can't last forever. Happiness is not some kind of lifestyle. It's a feeling. Like everything else. Stop comparing your real to their real. On Instagram, Snapchat, just stop. Because it's not real life. Your life is not a highlight reel, okay? Most of it is wiping your ass, brushing your teeth, driving your car, chewing on your toothpick. Most of it's just sitting back and enjoying it. Because the truth is, you don't have control over any of it. If a meteorite wanted to come and hit Earth and destroy everything right now, it could. What could you say or do about that? Nothing. You know, I may not know what I'm going to do with my life. But I do know one thing. I'm gonna live every minute of it. I'm gonna love every minute of it. Because what else is there? You know, to be alive. To be alive. What does it mean to you? What does it mean to any of us? Some of us take it for granted. But I'll tell you right now, one thing. You probably imagine your death in some cool manner, but in reality, it'll be you in your hospital bed, surrounded by the loved ones, if you have any, with that hospital monitor thing going beep, 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 and now you're just waiting, not regretting the things you did, but regretting the things you didn't do, because at the end of life, it's not about how much money you have, how much people care about you, how much people saw your story. Did you live your life? Did you enjoy it? Because if you're not going to live your life now, when will you? When will you finally step up and realize that nobody has it figured out? That nobody is going to go out there and do this whole thing 100% correct? Just not how it works. Never was. Never will be. So get out there and do it your way. Or don't. You know, let this video just be another one of those dopamine hits, and then go on to the next and do whatever you're gonna do, and I'll do whatever I'm gonna do, because you could talk about death and life and the universe and the galaxy and all these things that matter, but in reality, there's a tomorrow that needs to be lived. There's a store you need to go to. There's a person you need to talk to. There's a class you need to get to. There's a job that needs to be worked at. And that's what's always blinded me. You know, because you could have those 2 a.m., 3 a.m. conversations, but in reality, at some point, it will turn 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., and the day will have to begin. I'll leave you with one last thing. You can never add a day onto your life, but it doesn't mean you can't add life into those days. Stay positive. Enjoy your day, night, evening. I'm going to try my best to enjoy mine. And realize that life is just life. And do not let life stop you from living life. Just don't. Say what you want to say. Do what you want to do. You know, when you can't please everybody around you, please yourself. When you can't make everybody around you happy, make yourself happy. Because you're all you got. You come into this world alone, and you exit alone. And you sink right back into the place in which you came.